Hi Flosstube, it's Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. Today is August 17th. It's my second son's birthday. Dylan, happy birthday, Dylan. And then in 2 more days, it's my third son, Curtis's birthday. And yeah, so we have two kids in August and one at the very end of January and one in the middle of February. So we kind of have 2 seasons of birthdays in our family. Welcome to my channel. This is a channel about cross stitch and life updates, plans, some adventures, and what's ahead of us. So thanks for joining us. I have my red lips on for you today. We're actually going to dinner with some friends, and I thought, well, I'll just get dressed because it's noon, and then I'll just stitch until it's time to go. Life updates, we are forging ahead on the house. So if you're new to my channel, my husband and I moved to kind of a rural place in the Willamette Valley in Oregon. It's beautiful here. We're in the foothills of the Cascade Mountains, and it's farmland, rolling hills, orchards, grape vineyards, berry farms. It's just, we love it here. It's very quiet. And my husband is the general contractor for a house that's being built. So he has poured the footers, the stem walls, and we thought it's going to take a while to get some framers. He was calling and not getting any callbacks. And then God is good because he lined one right up for us. I could not believe it. That a friend of ours, they have done framing for years and they had availability. So they have come out and they started, like, they were forging ahead. They're hard workers. And they worked last week. Then the plumbers had to come on Friday and Monday. So like the guy who's a general contractor, his cousin is a plumber. And Todd was going to do the plumbing, but he has no plumbing experience. So I was a little concerned about that, but he can figure anything out. The cost was right for us. We went ahead and they're going to do all of our plumbing finished, put the fixtures in when it's time. So the framers are going to come back next week, and then hopefully it'll be framed in about a month. Then the roofers will come and we'll have the house wrapped. So one of the things is that we had to really dial in our windows for the openings for framing and doors. So Todd and I went and met some people this last week, and then also we had to pick out a tub for our master suite. I really like the floor plan, but the tub or the bathroom closet area was just very jumbly. To me, it felt like unnecessarily complicated. So we actually, through kind of word of mouth, met with a person who's an interior designer. He does interior and garden design. So he helped us with some ideas, and it was worth it. 100% worth it. If you're going to build a house and you can add that in, we're just consulting with him. So he's not a full-time designer. He's giving us just great advice. So one of the things is that we are going to have 10-foot ceilings in this house. I've always wanted a house with 10-foot ceilings. But that means all your doors need to be taller. So we went and saw the taller doors, and my husband's like, man, it feels like we're walking through the Jolly Green Giant's house. These doors are so tall. But what I really wanted was transom windows over our doors. And we saw a setup where they had those. So this height is about the same, but you have a transom window instead of all door. And then my husband really liked that. So that worked out pretty well. But the money is just flying out the door. Let me tell you, we're going to get to the point where we're going to have to slow down. And so after the house is dried in, he'll work on this winter, probably on like electrical. And then we'll have somebody come in and probably do insulation. I think we'll probably have somebody do sheetrock, even though Todd kind of wants to do that. It's a specific skill set, and the people with the tools and the know-how, and they can get it done. And we have a vault in our living room. So I'm like, I just don't want to take forever to put sheetrock in our house. So we'll see. It's all under negotiation. And we're still talking to each other, so things are doing all right. Now, so I've got a table full of things. It's been a few weeks. I knew this summer it would be a little bit longer between videos just because of other things that happen in the summer. So at work, I have mostly a new team. They join me next week, and I have a couple of people on my team, but that whole like forming, storming, norming process with a team takes a little time, and they're new, so they'll take a lot of energy. And what else is going on? Just I feel like we've been going different places. One weekend, my mom and sister and I went to an antique fair in a town that's about 45 minutes from us. It's called Brownsville, Oregon, and it was in a park. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. I'm like, I need to find more of these and go to these more in my life. What else have we been doing? I don't know. Life is just flying by. Let me tell you, it's been all house and work, it feels like. And stitching. Although some nights this week, I was just like toast. I didn't stitch much at all. So let's start off with one thing from last time. Two things. One, I'm going to talk about giveaways. And I'm going to do that first. So we had this sampler, the Guarneri sampler. I'm not sure if I said that right. Guarneri. I don't know. Anyway, the winner of this sampler is, this is your YouTube handle, at Chris Hindle 3. Chris Hindle 3. Okay, so that's that one. The next one, Ann Duncan. The winner of this is at Lorida, Lorida VIS, Stitchville, USA. And then I had two $15 coupons to Jersey Girls Stitch Etsy shop. And those winners are at Marilyn Furlich, FERLITSCH 2003, and at Bethany Ruta, RUTTA 2377. So if you are a winner of one of those giveaways, please contact me at the email box below, and we will arrange to get you your prizes. So there's that. I do have some giveaways for next time too. I think I'll wait to mention these toward the end of the video though. All right, so I also asked you to shout out or mention some floss tubes that you like. I asked you to look at the other comments, try not to duplicate, and you did a pretty darn good job. And so I have 133 channels recommended, and I typed them out on my computer. I tried to verify that I had the right spelling. I could, it's going to be pretty close. And when I printed this off, my printer has like a repeat every 8 lines or so where there's a line through it, so I had to use a pen to kind of write over it. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to say the names, and I will flash the page up so you can take a screenshot. I also will put this on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, you can go see the posts that I have there. It's going to be one post with multiple pages. Are you ready? Okay, these are in the order in which they're mentioned through the video. So if you're thinking, oh, I wonder if she's going to say the ones that I mentioned, probably, but just think about when you commented and then you can tell. If it's mentioned more than once, I only going to mention it once. Okay, Sable Stitchers, Sun City Stitchers, Floss Boss and Cousins, PNW Stitcher, Davis.quilting.stitching, Caroline with a K, Caroline's Corner, Linen and Scraps, Cobweb Corner, Memphis Sarah E, The Camping Stitcher, Cory, Cory, Creates, Saltbox Stitcher, Creative Lee, Leigh, Sew and Sews, and that's SEWS, Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, Two Needles Pulling Thread, New Hampshire Stitcher, Sew Tattered, Stitching Gem, JEM, Emily Williams Flosstube and Variety Show, The Seattle Stitcher. Okay, page 2. Tammy Ernest, The Disorderly Stitcher, Wendy's Whimsical Stitches, Cindy, CYNDI, Garrison, Sew Me Sarah, Nicole North Garden Stitches, Peregrine Stitcher, Stitch Roadies, Museum Stitcher, Hathaway Stitchers, Comfort Stitching, Colorado Cross Stitcher, Virginia Stitcher, the Northwoods Stitcher, Steel City Stitchers, 911 Stitcher, Helen D., Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, The Proper Stitcher, Jean Farish Needleworks, and Recovering Monogamous Stitcher. If you hear beeping in the background, it's because my husband is moving dirt, and it's the equipment that he's driving. All right. Mischievous Stitches, Lost in Stitches, Chris X, the letter X, ROSS, that's cross stitch. Stitch Bliss Corner, Jan Hicks Creates, Stitching in the Land of Good Enough, Country Stitchers, Thistle Threads with Trisha Wilson Wen, Mama Loves You GB, Megan the Wide-Eyed Stitcher, Sally Stitches and ... Paisley Stitcher, Potty Mouth Stitcher, Karen Combs Studio, Boss BOS Stitchers, capital S Stitchers, Stitching Scotty, Welcome Stitchery, Nisi Lynn, Nicole Spore, SPOHR, Hedgerow Stitching, Reflections, Framing, and Stitching. Okay. The Nightly Stitcher, Jen's Fiberweb, Flossie Sews and Grows, SEWS and Grows, Unfinished Stitches, Lala D Stitching, Stitching Mommy, Periwinkle Stitcher, Contented Needleworker Kim, Sassy Southern Stitchers, Jen's Stitching Niche, Brenda and the Cereal Starter, Rebel Stitcher, The Runner Stitcher, Bougie Stitchers, Cross Stitch Cats and Chaos. I've got to check that one out. Asbury, ASBURY, Echoes Stitches, Priscilla and Chelsea, Sherry, CHARI, Moss, Two Tall Stitchers, Penny's Daughter Shares, Just Keep Stitching. Loose Threads, The Gem, JEM Stitchery, Garan Stitchery, Ronnie Rowe, ROWE, Stitchin' Button, C Zook Stitch, Sunshine Stitchers, Once Upon a Stitch, Ardith, ARDITH Designs, Pink Stitchers, Lindy Stitches, Stitching by the Lake, Stitching by the Shore, Professor Stitch, Snug Harbor Crafts, Wendy and Neverland, Lost in Floss, Stitch, Read, Repeat, Half Stitch, Cross Stitch, Small Town Stitches, and Hobbies of Holly. We've got a couple more left here. You guys, I'm so excited. Like, I am going to go check all these out. You kind of tend to watch the same people, and they're not even all on this list. So now my list is going to get bigger. Okay. Did I say this one already? Stitching in the Land of Good Enough? I might be a repeat. Antique Needleworker, JBW Designs, Lisa Abbey, ABBEY, Needleworks, Fibers and Floss Canada, The Blue Flower, Heritage Stitching, Sew on Wednesday, SEW, Hoop It Up with Jan, Sweet Woodruff, ROODRUFF, Mud Puppy Stitchery, Afraid Stitch, FRAYED Stitch, Black Ribbon Stitch Studio, Mary's Stitching Corner, Sully Stitches, Sarah's Stitchy Spot, Janet Jabber, Privies and Prims, Cozy Egg, House of Stitch and Stash, and Stitching Faye, FAE. Okay, last one. Jen, with two N's, the Caffeinated Crafter. That's an awesome name. Ailara, Ailarra, Animal Instinct, Kel's, KEL''S Stitching, Morning Glory Needleworks, Audrey Myron, Myrehn, which is Stitch Stitch Bead, and then Teresa Kogut's Creative Whims. All right. So again, if you want to just look at all of them in like all the pages separately and not take a screenshot, I'll post on Instagram. Oops, sorry about that. Bumped you. Now, since last time, what have I been working on? Well, let me tell you just a second. So first of all, let me just show you this bag. I love this bag. Although, you know what? I'm almost to the point where I might just take it apart and make a pin pillow out of it. This is a Blackbird Designs. I think it's Bittersweet September. I'm not sure. It was an individual chart, and it's also in the Winds of Autumn book, I believe. What I love about this is that this is the inside fabric, this batik pumpkin. It's so cute. We'll see. I might just keep that one the way it is. So the first thing I want to show you, actually it's the last thing I've been working on, but it's the middle thing I've been working on. This is one of my focus pieces, Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain. I don't actually have the chart here for some reason. I don't know what it is. This is a, flip it over, and this is a mirror design. So I stitch and stitch and stitch and stitch on this. It took me 2 full weekends and a week to get that done. And this is being stitched on 32 count Thornhaven by hand dyed by Stephanie. And it is an even weave fabric, and I'm stitching it over 1. So I wanted to stitch this on this fabric. This fabric is gorgeous. It's kind of a light olivey green, moody color. But if I were to stitch it over 2 on this, it would have left me a 1/2 inch margin all the way around. And we can't have that. It'd be pretty hard to frame that. So this is my focus piece for July and August, as is my Mirabilia. These are my 2018 pieces this year. So I'm trying to finish some of these oldies but goodies, but look how small that is. If you look at it, like, imagine this is a quarter of the size that it would be if you stitched the whole thing. It's about a quarter. So a bit of over 1 stitching. And if I wasn't trying to get this done, I probably would not have completed the whole bottom corner. But because I want to get it done, because it's a focus piece, I definitely decided that I wanted to invest the time to move it forward. Okay, this one's not ironed. The next one I worked on is Florentina. She's my Mirabilia. I'll insert a picture here. Maybe I'll do that with Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain also. Isn't she gorgeous? You guys, I loved stitching on her. Now, I got through the fussy stuff. So I have worked on, this is over 1 skin stitching. The rest of her is stitched over 2. But all of the face, this was all done before I finished all of this, and I stitched this whole section. So all of this is new. And I started on her skin, stitching it all the way down. But then I stopped and started working on some of the dress because I can't wait to start working on this. I was a little bit burned out on the over 1 skin, but the results are so pretty. She's just gorgeous. And this fabric, at first when I was stitching it, I thought, I don't know if it's the right fabric, but you guys, I love it. I absolutely love it. And I can't wait to get into this piece down here. Now there is a cat. Let's see. I think he's on this side, or is he on this side? I think he's on this side. And this green, kind of it looks like it would be a garden bench, if you will. Goes down to about here, I think. So there's quite a bit of that left to stitch. And she is a focus piece also for this year. I am kind of going back and forth between her and Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain right now, but I really just had a hankering for this next one. And this next one I stitched on for maybe a week. This is, I'll take it out of the package to show you. This is a retreat piece from last fall at the Autumn Abundance Retreat at the Attic. It is Plum Street, and it's called Real Comfort. And I have been thinking about this one for a couple of weeks. I was stitching on Autumn at Lazy Bear Mountain, and I really wanted to stitch this one, but I wanted to get that lower right corner done. So once I did, I should have really gone over to my Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow and stitched one of those blocks, but I just do what I want. I am stitching this on 40 count pecan butter. So I didn't use the kit fabric on this one because I prefer 40 over 36. And I think Paulette pretty much, I think she uses 36 count a lot on her pieces. So this morning I hadn't cut away the excess fabric, and I was stitching on a fat quarter, and it was driving me crazy because there was so much extra fabric. So today I sewed a couple extra pieces on, I just equidistant, from here to here to here to here. And in this last go around, I finished stitching in, filling in this grass on this side, and there are actually veins and leaves that are like back stitched. And then I finished bringing this over and stitched this here, and I brought this up. So quite a bit of stitching and quite a bit accomplished. That's about, I would say once I finish that grass at the bottom, I'm about 20% done, maybe 25 when I get that finished. And I made myself a grime guard out of this same fabric because I only have one, and I finally washed it. It was terrible. It needed to be washed before. And it's blue, and it doesn't really go with my fall stitching. So I decided to go ahead and make another one. So that was fun. Let's see. Oh, and here's the grime guard here. It just goes around the Q-snap. And my Q-snap sits in my lap stand. The guy who makes the lap stands passed away. So it's no use giving you his contact information because his wife won't be able to help you. But anyway, my Q-snap sits in 11 by 17, sits on my lap stand, and I two-hand stitch. And I find sometimes I have a lot of extra fabric, so the grime guards really do help protect the edge of your stitched piece. So as you lean against it or what have you, you're protected. So I made that this morning, and this is going pretty quickly. We'll talk a little bit about what I bought and next time's giveaway. So when let's see, I went to a local kind of a craft mall, and I found this. This is a sewing machine drawer, I think, although this one's curved in the back. I really like it, but Teresa Vinette has the there's flowers at the top, and she has hers finished on a box like this. And I might do the same thing. I think I might just make it that, what's it called? I'll drop it across the screen here. It's something about, I don't know, they're very stylized, beautiful flowers. I really like it. So I kind of thought maybe I would do something like that on this. Plus you can never have too much storage. Also, Shabby Fabrics. Remember last time I was going to unsubscribe, and then I ended up buying a kit. Well, now I've said, instead of unsubscribing to their email, now I bought another one. This is a fat quarter bundle of Friday Harbor. Let me see who the designer is. I don't know if I have. Hang on. I think I can find a salvage here. Know who it's by, but it's Friday Harbor. But look at these. Aren't these adorable? And then you have kind of shirtings and plaids, and then stars, more stars and stripes. And then I was just like $5 away from free shipping, so then I bought, I think, a yard of this, which is one of the fabrics in here. So what am I going to make out of it? I don't know. I'm just collecting, still collecting for retirement. So I bought that, and I guess I'll get this down here. I also bought this. This gal is on, where am I? Here we go. Julie Zakrzyski. My Primitive Heart on Etsy. I bought this velvet strawberry, and this thing is a deadly weapon. You can throw this across the room and take someone out. It is so heavy. It is so tight. It is, oh, like I just want to hold it and touch it the whole time. And it's got a little safety pin with a couple buttons. It is just very beautifully sewn. Hand-stitched folk art created with time, care, and love from my heart to your home. How sweet is that? So check her out on Etsy. I decided I was going to invest in that. Also, I ordered from Blackberry Primitives. It's a new Maggie Bonomi kit. Autumn has arrived. I thought I bought a different one, but I guess I bought this one. I'm not mad about it because I don't have this one, and I love this one. I love it. I need to go get me some Baldani threads for that, though. I was on the With Thy Needle and Thread Country Stitches Online page, and these were back in stock, so I bought 2 of these. It is a panel to make a project bag for her stitch piece, Light of Winter. So there's the front and the back. I'm just going to show you what it looks like, the main part of it. I am inspired by this, and I may stitch this on black fabric or a dark blue fabric when I stitch it. I really like it on the dark background. It kind of reminds me in a way of Frances Eden. I've seen that stitched on dark fabric and light fabric. So, yep, I bought those to make one for me and one for my sister. And let's see, more stuff here. One day, the day that we went to the country antique fair, the Brownsville Antique Fair, I picked up this. I love this. I love antique quilts. This is it's advertised as a pot holder, but I would just tuck this under and maybe put like a candle on it or a figurine or something like that. It was $4. It's like sold. And then I think Crafty Cottage Stitches showed some of this. This is Strawberry Fair by Johnson Brothers. And look at this. You guys know I love transferware, but look at this. It has strawberries all around it. And so now they're collecting it, and I feel like I need to collect it. So I bought 2 of those, and I gave one to my sister. Also there, the first place we went, there were like, I don't know how many booths, maybe 50 booths. But where we parked and where we went in, that was the very best part of the whole setup, I think. We just happened to get there early and go to the right booths. And I bought this quilt. I'm going to stand up, so hold on just a second here. Let me see if I can better show you from the side. It is hand embroidered and appliqued, beautifully quilted. And I think I can show you like the center section here. It's hard to show these. It's gorgeous. It's so beautifully done. I think that's the side. I think it goes this way. Sorry. I think it goes more like this. And when I saw it, I couldn't believe that it was $45. So I grabbed it. I was like, she said, it's not a bright quilt, so she must have not been able to sell it before and discounted it. And I thought, it's not perfect. The the pink fabric around the edge is kind of fading, but it's so soft and beautiful. It was gorgeous. I couldn't believe it. So I bought that. Then we went to a quilt store in Lebanon, Oregon called Finally Together Quilts. And I picked up some of Laundry Basket Quilts cheater fabric. So cheater fabric just has a print that looks like it's a quilt already. You don't have to piece it. And I think these are the easiest way to get a homemade quilt effect. Really, you could just probably, I think this is 45-inch wide, but you could piece like 2 vertical pieces and use a solid on the back and have it quilted, and it looks like a quilt, but it's not. And then you can just not feel bad at all about using it in your house. So I love her stuff. She's absolutely my favorite. And in that same Joy line, I picked up a bundle of fat, I think these are fat 8s of the lights in that line. Look at, I love this one. I love them all. She tends to have a lot of pinks and greens in her fabric lines. So, one last thing, Facebook Marketplace struck again. I can't believe people are getting rid of their samplers. This was another $45 sampler. And it's not, like there's some thread loss. It doesn't have a big motif or anything on it that's gorgeous, but what I do love, the colors on this are fantastic. There's this kind of tealy blue, the turkey red. She did some clever things stitching this. This is not an eyelet stitch. It is basically a 9 patch. So it's stitched in a circle and then a different color in the middle. And she used oftentimes 2 colors on her border bands. So do I think I would reproduce this? I don't know. Do I think I could use some of this to adapt it and make a new design? Absolutely. Absolutely. So keep your eyes out. Facebook Marketplace. There are treasures, I'm telling you. And it comes in waves, right? Sometimes there's just nothing, and then sometimes there's a lot. So for next time, let's have another quick giveaway here. I have some summerish, fallish type stitches for you. The first one is Praiseworthy Stitches, Sarah's Crows. Now this is one where I think the picture doesn't do it justice. There are sunflowers all around and crows in there. I would stitch it in a darker fabric probably. So if you would like this one, write crows. The next one is Hopeful. This is a Carriage House Samplings. Is that not awesome? Kind of a primitive design. And it says Dismal Hollow Road, Two Sheep Farm, Mount Misery Road, Good Intent Farm. Hopeful, established 1820, population 23. So if you would like this one, write Hopeful in your comments. This is a diminutive sampler by Barrick Samplers. Diminutive Dutch sampler. It's really kind of cute and petite. It would be a fast stitch, and I love it in that big chunky frame. So if you would like this one, write Dutch in your comments. And there's a Rosewood Manor Golden Watercolor Butterfly. Isn't that beautiful? You could just stitch the butterfly and put it on a pin pillow. Wouldn't that be pretty? Or that'd be a great like exchange gift. If you would like this one, please comment butterfly. And the last one is Raise the Roof Designs Witchy Washi. If you've seen this one stitched, you'll think it's adorable, and it comes with all of the buttons. So if you would like this one, write Witchy, W-I-T-C-H-Y. That's it for today. I hope to see you. Let's see. I've got a family reunion next weekend, and then I'll see you again. I have the Pacific Northwest retreat is mid-September, so I should see you one more time before then. So it's great seeing you all, and I will see you next time. Take care. Floor joists are done. This corner here is my craft room, and this is looking the other direction than what I showed you yesterday. We're having to decide where plumbing is going, rough plumbing, and we haven't completely finished our kitchen layout, so it's a little stressful, and our master bath layout. So we're working through that, and we'll make the best decision we can, but it's coming along.